Hi everyone! So today I have these new sets that LDRS Creative brought to HSN for the August 23rd craft day. They did send these items in free of charge for my review, and of course all opinions are my own, and any links I have in the description box will be affiliate links, which means I'll make a small commission if you were to purchase items to those links. So as you saw in the thumbnail, or maybe at the intro here, these sets create just really unique, fun cards, or however you want to play with it. But I have puzzled diamonds. Sorry, I'm getting tongue-tied already because this one's called puzzled diamonds and this one's called puzzle hexagon, but it does say stamps when this one says stamps down here. So let me open these up and we'll take a look. I already have an idea of what I want to do with these. Just looking at them remind me of something I used to use for scrapbooking all the time. But again, you know, these are card fronts, or like I said, whatever project you want to pop it on. So check these out. So this one is the hexagon one. We have an A2 size cover plate, it says. So you can cut this out on its own. I hope you can see maybe, because now that I'm looking at it, it's this larger area and it's going to cut all these pieces, but you're going to leave this frame. And then this center one cuts out or it doesn't cut out. If you want to use it as an inlay or as a topper, or cut it out and then cut it out again, however you want to do it, but that middle piece is separate. And then you have all these stamps. So you can stamp all these stamps at once. You know, you can mix and match. You can move them around, you know, in the different spots, like this best wishes. If you want to do that twice, it'd be the same as popping it over here. Just stamp it and then pop that same piece of paper over here, or however you want to do it. So all these different things that are mix and matchable. So much you can do with this. So that's the hexagon one. And then this is the puzzled diamonds, and it has kind of like a diamond, kind of like a lattice look. Really super cool. And this one, they're both floral, you know, in these designs. They have this pretty, so again, you can just stamp that and have that just like they're showing here as your focal, and it looks kind of like a quilt with all the different sentiments, or however you want to mix them up. And then on this one, again, very similar. You have that outer frame, or the frame that's going to cut all these things. And then this center one is a separate die, so you can cut into that or not use it, or use it however you want. And then all these guys with all the little floral images, all kinds of cute stuff in here. Now, I'm going to open this one up just to show you a little more about the stamps, because it looks like it's one solid piece. But in fact it is not. So let's see this. Hopefully you can see that there's some like lines in here. So when you turn it over, everything's tucked in here really, really well, but as you can see, you can separate the pieces. I don't know if you can see that. I probably would like to just leave them in here and try to use it that way. The material's a little different. It's like a rubber, a little different feel than red rubber. It's like harder. I don't know how to explain that. And then of course it's mounted on like that foam. So I think I'm gonna leave it on here and try to stamp off of this. If not, I might take it apart in pieces. We'll see, especially depending on these little guys. I might pop these out. I don't know that I want to use all of these decorations at once, you know, so you can mix and match like I had mentioned. And then the sentiments I really think are sweet. It's just, you know, dream big, celebrate today, hello, love life, be yourself, be brave. I think all those things kind of just go together anyhow. You have the word love, we have hello. So just lots of different ways you can pop them in and pop them out and use them in different parts of this. So what I'm going to do is grab some paper, grab some inks, and we'll get started. Okay guys, so I had mentioned that I used to use things that look like this, but they were templates and you'd actually draw it and then cut it. So this is much easier for scrapbooking. So I went through some pictures, and to be honest, you know, you probably want to use like a family picture or something. I just chose like a focal point, like this flower. I remember taking this picture because it's with the rest of the pictures that I have. Sorry, yeah, so I took this picture one of the times that we had gone out to Disney World. So just a pretty hibiscus, and it's funny, now I have a hibiscus in my yard, and to me that was like, oh, look at this beautiful flower. Like, I have never seen it before in real life. But living in San Diego, I have hibiscus and they do really well. But anyway, so I have this picture, and so you can imagine, again, using whatever focal point you want, or just stamping, you know, this guy and coloring it in, or however you want to do this. So there's lots to do. This is something I'm going to do. This is just one of the ways we can use this. To get started though, I am going to open this up. I'm going to, and you guys probably think like, what are you talking about? We're going to cut this up with this. And I want also a black frame, so we're also going to cut this out. The whole thing. You know, actually, I don't have to cut the centerpiece out if I don't want to, because we're going to cut this one up with that centerpiece. So I'm just going to do it like this for this part. But if you wanted to cut that centerpiece out, you can do it. I just don't need to. So I'm going to cut this black cardstock with this. And again, it's A2 size, so roughly 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So you want a machine that can accommodate that. So I'll cut that out in a little bit. We'll talk about this once we get to that part of it. We're not going to use this quite yet. I'm going to make like a background. And this is just paper and nothing special about it. It's just regular old cardstock. A little heavier weight. But it's a cream color. I don't know if you can tell. It looks kind of white, but it's more of a cream color. And I'm just going to take some of this Aquaflow Just Peachy. I love this color, and it kind of, I think it coordinates back to my little flower in there a little bit. And I'm just going to put this everywhere, so I'm just going to have fun with this one. Because it doesn't really matter what happens. I just want some kind of like a fun background. I really need it to be on these outer edges, because this middle part is going to be all the picture that I cut there. So I'm just going to look at that. And before I stick this down, really I just want to see and make sure I have enough. Yeah, that's all I wanted. Just some fun background. I think that looks good. Okay, so I'm going to let that dry. I'm going to run this through, let this dry, and I'll be right back. Okay, while that other beige paper is still drying, I can hit it with the heat tool, but look at that. Beautiful. And that's just pretty just the way it is. So, this one, my flower is really oriented like this. I guess I could put it however I want. You know, so what's going to happen is this is going to cut, hopefully you can see, that flower out, and then you can put it in your card however you'd like for it to be. I am going to go with it this way. And just looking at it, I'm kind of centering this, but I really want pretty much the whole picture. So I'm just looking at that. Making sure those little edges are just hitting there. Like that. And I know I'm not going to use these pieces over here. I'm going to be keeping some of these pieces in and some of these out. It'll make sense in just a little bit, so I'm just kind of eyeballing this, making sure I have all the pieces I need. And I'm just going to tape that in several places so it does not move. I know I'm not going to use these outer pieces, that's why I don't mind putting too much tape on there. And I am going to run this through, and before I run that through, I'm also going to cut a card base out of cream colored paper too. That's standard A2 size, so 8 1/2 by 5 1/2, scored at 4 1/4, and I'll be right back. Okay guys, so I have my pieces here. I'm gonna put this to the side. I'm trying to keep it all together there. So I'm gonna pop this in here and just glue that down. And this die happens to cut so it's completely the size of your card front. So I am just going to get the glue going and put glue all over this, all around the edges, and then just glue it down to my card front. Okay, and I will be right back. So I'll put glue on all these little crisscrosses and place it here. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is just kind of pop these things out carefully. Oh, you know what? I forgot to put that center one. So I'm going to go ahead and pop these out, just to get everything off of here. But at the same time, I could have placed that center one. I do need that for this part of the project. I don't need these other pieces, so I'm just gonna get those out of there. I'll go ahead and pop these out and just leave them here so I know kind of where they came from. Sorry guys, I should have cut it all at once. Look at that. So cool. And I might need these pieces, I'm not sure yet, so I'm gonna keep them here. And I'll leave those last bottom too, because I'm pretty sure I don't need those anyway. And I'm going to go ahead and cut this piece. So I'll just run it through right in here. So I'll put a little tape on this outer edge and run it through. Alright, I'll be right back. Okay, so here we have our little piece. And so when I first ran this through, again, I had talked about it at the beginning, I should have run it through with everything together. This piece placed in here. Okay? Tape it all down, run it through so that that piece gets cut out. This piece gets cut out. Okay, so I'm going to start off with this piece because I know for sure I'm going to put that right here, right down in the center. And just want to make sure I have this all the way it was. That was there, I think. Yeah, so it's just facing the right way. Okay. So again, this is just what I would like to do with it. And you imagine a little back to school picture, your kids' pictures. They're actually taking pictures this year. Last year we did not get school pictures, sadly. So I'm going to place this guy here. And so this one, since I didn't cut that center of the black out, is sitting up on top. If you wanted it to be recessed in here like the other pieces, then you could have just, again, run through the whole thing together at the same time with that center piece. And it would be a black lattice that didn't have that solid piece in the center. And I think what I'm going to do with these guys is pretty much just fill this in, but not all of it. So I'm going to use some of that paper that we decorated. And I'll pop it in here. So this guy. Goes here. Oh my gosh, hopefully you guys can kind of see what's happening here, because it just creates a really cool effect, because some of the picture is gone, but hopefully you can see in here how the leaf continues here, and that piece of it is, you know, obviously out here, the piece that we cut away. But it just looks super cool. That guy goes there. And I think that's all I wanted to use of this. Now if you wanted to build it up more, you know, you can pop this guy in here and put this guy back here, and it fills it in even more. But I think, like I said, I want to go with the paper that we colored in with that peach stuff, and I just want to make sure something. Okay, so I'm going to glue these down. So I'll just pick these up and glue them down, okay? So when I come back, all these pieces will be glued down, and if I change my mind, like if I want to add more of the greenery, we still have the pieces and we can do that. But for now, I'm just going to pop in these pieces and glue them all in. Okay. Super cool. So I'll put this to the side. Now we can just take the die and cut out, you know, this piece so that all these little pink peachy pieces are in here. But I am going to leave it all together. I'm going to stamp all at once and then just cut the die the one time through this. So I don't want these pieces to be stamped. What I'm trying to do right now is just get the words, the celebrate today, hello, love, dream big, all those things, for the pieces that I'm going to use, which are basically just these top pieces, right? And then these bottom pieces. All this other stuff, if it gets stamped, that's fine. I'm not going to use them in this project. Maybe I can use them in another one. So I'm going to take these pieces out. I don't want those stamped. And I don't want to stamp, like I said, we don't need these middle ones because we already have that. I don't want to stamp these little guys either. So I'm going to pop these little guys out. This little corner. In this little corner, and I can see why this is firmer, because it makes it very easy to grab your pieces. Also when you pop them back in, also when you stamp, because I'm going to stamp over the top of this. I know sometimes I'll take this, maybe set it down and push it down. You can do it that way. You can leave this down, put this on top and brayer over the top, but I think I'm going to ink it up. I'm going to place it carefully, and I'm going to use my stamping tool to help me make sure I hit every edge and corner and everything all around. And I'm going to put down a stamping mat too. Put that, put this, and I'm going to ink everything up in black. Now, what's actually cool too is that this also will stamp a line if you wanted that inside of this area. Like let's say you used a lighter color paper or embossing powder or embossing ink, and then you're going to hit it with some powder. So it's going to leave a little line, which is a nice detail. For now, I just have this, and we are going to... I'm going to use VersaFine because I know it's nice and juicy. So I'm going to take my time to really ink everything up. You can definitely take the pieces out and stamp them if you'd like to do that better, or put it on a stamping tool, or however you want to do that. But for now I'm doing this. I think that's everything. I'm going to place it down, and what's pretty cool is I can see right through it, so I can kind of see where I'm going with this. I'm going to place that down. I'm going to bring this guy over to help me really push in. Really I need these top pieces and this bottom, right? The rest of it for this project I don't need, but I'll go ahead and try and get it all stamped just so maybe I can use it in the future. And you can also take a peek before you really move anything. Yep, that looks perfect. And I suppose if I turn this carefully, yeah, it's all stamped really nicely. Look at that. Boom. So that was really good, made really easy with the stamping tool, and then also using a stamping mat just to make sure you get a good impression. Yeah, looks great. So let me pop this off of here. So for this one, like I said, I only need the other portions that I didn't put in the first time. But either way, I'll just lay this on here, and of course we can cut that center piece out also. So I'll do that just so I can show you what I'm talking about, since I didn't do it the first time. Sorry guys. Let's grab that. Oopsie. Okay. So I'd pop this in here too. Cut it all at the same time. Okay, so I'm just eyeballing this. I just need the words, so I'm not too worried about everything else. But you can kind of see what's going on here. I'm looking at the black line there. Trying to make sure I get it there. That looks pretty good. Alright, and then we are going to tape, and run that through. And then we'll just pop in the pieces that we want into our project. So let me tape this outer frame before. And then I'll tape that little inner frame down. Just a little bit. I try not to get tape all over everything just in case. But that should be good. Okay, I'm going to run this through and I'll be right back. Okay guys, so I have all my pieces here. I'm going to carefully put those out here. These are the pieces that I need for my project. And then I have other ones that I don't need, but I'm going to put these to the side very carefully, and then the bottom ones. And I just wanted to show you what that kind of looks like. So I'll probably take all the tape off so I can show you a little better. So we can use this another time. Or just make another card right now that I'm working on, There you go. And as you can see, that centerpiece would cut out on its own when you run them all through. And look at this frame. My goodness, and I just eyeballed that. It has that detailing, and then the other set has the detailing that's like the little dots there. And just now that I think about it, they are separate. There'll be 2 different links for those items, okay, for the 2 different sets. And I already popped my stamps back in, but just to show you, you just take them and just push them in. If it gives you a little resistance, you can just kind of flex it a little bit and then pop it in. Okay, and then it'll be good to go for the next time. There we go. Dropped a piece of something. Alright, so now the same thing, you can put the glue on the pieces that you cut, but then I remembered I can also just put glue here, so I like to do that too. And bring over my pieces, pop those in. It just feels like tile, it feels so nice. It kind of pops in there. Now if you wanted, images on these things too, we could have done any of the stamping, or now that they're cut, you can also take those little stamps and stamp them in however you like. And again, I'm just gonna pop in all the pieces that I would like. And you can leave some open. I mean, there's just so many ways to play with this. So I'm just gonna do that, pop them all in, and I'll be right back. Okay guys, look at that, so much fun. I mean, there's just so many ways yeah, you can work with this. I think I'm going to add one little thing. Now, pearls, rhinestones, all those fun things, if you want to add more dimension to your card. I think I'm going to take this organza and just put a little bow here, and I have been an organza girl recently. Alright, so this is just white. I'm going to leave it that way. I have ink on my hands from when I touched it. Alright, so again, we're going to do our little bow where we kind of go around our fingers, up there. I'll just make like a double. I'm kind of keeping my fingers a little bit separate so the bow gets a little bit bigger. And sorry, I kind of let it go while I was going to go to cut it because I want to make it a little bit bigger. So see, it keeps wanting to pop out of my fingers. Okay, here and here and here. And give myself plenty of this. We're going to go finish that loop, go over everything, right? Over on top of everything, shove it through your fingers here. And then let me make that a little bit nicer because I can see it's all curled up on me. Go around the back and then through this loop you just made. By going over everything, you make a loop here. So we're just going to shove it through there. And if there's any adjustments you want to make them now, like with this part, because once you tighten it, if you pull this, it's going to get smaller, but nothing else is going to move. So just make sure it's where you want it to be. Like this guy. Okay. And give it a pull. And I'm going to try and slide this off my fingers. There's that one. There's this guy. Pretty good. Okay, again, if you pull this one, it's going to shrink that guy up. The only one you can really still adjust is this guy. Alright. And I think I'm just going to stick that on there. And I am going to burn the edges. And every time I say that, I bring out my lighter. Don't want to scare you guys. Let me see if this is... Yep. And I just kind of boop, give it a little singy singe. Very close. Be very careful. And I'm just going to glue that down, probably with some 3D glue gel, so it does take a little while to dry. I'm just trying to think if I want to put it here. I mean, you can pop it wherever you like down here. I think I always end up putting them on the side like this because I like that. So that's what I'll do. So thank you so much, LDRS Creative, for sending these items for review. I'll have the links in the description box for you guys. So yeah, they have the two different, the Hexagon and then our diamond, which is the one we used today. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll have some images for you guys, links in the description box, and I'll see you guys at the next one. Bye now.